When was the last time that you congratulated yourself? I want to look at this today because it is a subject that I find fascinating, that we can look at all the things that we do wrong and we can see the good in others and what they're doing and how brilliant they are, and yet we don't stop and think, what are we doing right? And celebrate that. So if you are one of those people that doesn't stop and congratulate yourself and look for the good in what you're doing and what's happened, what you're going to find is the same as anybody that doesn't do that, is that it slows things down. It slows down our progress. And along the way, the more that you can look for the good things that have happened, the better things are going to happen for you and to you. So it's really important that we stop and recalibrate. So I want to give you some guidance on that today because it's something that really helped me along the way. And it was, I just have a little book, and I've been doing this for years now. I have a little book by my bedside, and every evening before I go to sleep, I write in that book 4 or 5 things that went really well with the day, that they are the positives in the day. So that's one thing that as I said, I've been doing that for a very long time. The other thing is, if I feel like I've had a day where it seemed like nothing was going right and everything was going in the opposite direction, I still open that book and I write down the things that would have gone right, that I wanted to see go well, but I say it as if they have. Okay, so that's another tip. If you can't find something that went right or that was good and progressive, then put down what you want to have happened as if it did. All right. Another way that we can be stopping our progress and not finding a reason to congratulate ourselves is because we are comparing. And everybody compares. And when you're in a business where lots of people are going for the same types of goals and same number of customers, growing their team, getting to a new level, it's very easy to look at those that are doing really well and going really fast and compare yourself and think, why is that not me? I want that to be me. Instead of turning it around, and what is a more effective use of seeing that person rise up the scale? Because trust me, I have been in that position where I'm thinking, it's all very well, these people getting to the next level, but it's really frustrating sitting here and it's not me. Because we all want the best for ourselves, right? Have you felt that too? Let me know if you felt that as well. And instead of doing that, I found a different way to look at it. And that is, what can I learn from this person? Is it the way that they are speaking? Is it a method that they're using? Is it their posture? What is it? Have they got a system that is helping them? So instead of comparing, it's like, what can I learn from this? And then the other thing is to look at yourself and only yourself to compare. This is a really tricky one. All of us compare. It's just a very natural thing that we compare ourselves with other people, but especially when it's in the same business as us. Why isn't it me? And it's not fair. And I've been working hard and I'm putting all of the hours in and I'm doing all the right things. Why isn't it me? So that's not a powerful question. And again, I've learned over the years that that's not a powerful question. So I'm hoping that this is helping you and you really do take this on board. So instead, what we can do is look at what can I do to move myself in that direction? What can I do differently? What has been working for me? So let me look back at my day yesterday and see what I did, and can I compare myself to yesterday and be better than that today? So when you seek, you will find these things. If you really start to ask yourselves those empowering questions, and looking back, and if it's not yesterday, maybe it's last week, maybe it's a month ago, maybe it's last year, and it's really, really very clear to you, and you can go, well, for me, my story, I wouldn't have been doing lives this time about a year ago. I wouldn't have been doing them. And now I'm doing them at least 3 times a week, right? So there's a huge difference, an absolutely huge difference. I know the format. I know what to say. I'm much more confident. I've got tools to use, coming up with different subjects. All of these things is a huge difference from this time about a year ago. So that's very obvious to see. But from this time yesterday, I need to think about it a bit harder. What am I improving on from this time yesterday? Am I a little bit better than I was yesterday? Am I showing up in a more confident way? Am I showing up in a more inspiring way? Am I showing up with more energy? Am I getting more done? Am I more consistent with my timetable? All of those sorts of things. And you might just be able to tick one of those things off and say, yes, I wasn't doing that thing yesterday, but I've done it today. So I know, compared with me yesterday, and that's the only person that I need to be comparing myself with, because I am the only person that can be me. I'm the only person that can be me. So I'm really, it's the only thing I have control over, is being better than myself, right? So it's the only thing that we all have control over, being better than ourselves. So here are some steps you can take. Definitely you can write down those little wins, and it might just be, I phoned that person I've been meaning to phone for ages. I sent an email out to my customers. I got a new customer. I had a repeat order. I spoke to somebody about the business. They don't have to be something that has got you to the place you want to be, but every little win does get you there. It's the little steps, remember, that get you to the top of that top of the staircase or the top of the mountain. So that's one thing. And as I say, if you haven't got those things, make them up as to the things that you want to have happened. The next thing is to only compare yourself to yesterday, or if that's too tricky, last week, last month, last year, and see how you've improved and how you've grown. And it might not be in the areas that are really obvious to you. It might be personal development rather than business. And if it's business rather than personal development, let's kind of work on both of those things and get them both growing and going in the right direction. And celebrate. So celebrate yourself. Celebrate the things that you have done. Celebrate those wins every single step of the way. And I know I've talked about this before, but I think it's so important to drive it home. If we have done something, and it's, so I'll tell you a story. I know and again, I might have said this before, but I am on a journey of learning, and we all are, all the way through our lives, hopefully. And there are some people that have gone before me, that obviously a lot of people, but some people that I look at and are highlighted a lot that have gone before me. And I was kind of thinking in my head, well, it was only a year ago, but actually it was 4 or 5 years ago that they started at the place I started at 6 months ago. And now they are absolutely storming and, blowing everything up, and in a good way, and really moving and grooving. So I'm not going to compare myself with them. I can look and be inspired by them and think, wow, okay, I started along the same journey. They started at a similar place to me, but they're different because they're different people. And I've started on that journey and I've really put it in and I've really put the focus there. And something that occurred to me about a month ago was, although I'm doing all of the stuff and I'm putting in all of the time and I'm focused and I'm consistent and I'm enjoying what I'm doing and all of that, I wasn't putting that extra bit in. And that extra ingredient that needs to go in is that part of me that is the most joyful part of me. And the most joyful part of me is when I'm dancing. And so I wasn't putting that into my posts or my reels or my lives or anything at all. And that part of me was sitting there waiting to spring forward and to make the difference. And when I put that in, little bit of an ingredient of me in, that yes, you can believe in yourself and you can believe in what you do, but put that part of you that is your joy into your posts, into your lives. And that's going to make the biggest difference, because it's made the biggest difference for me. So again, if that helps, if that's the ingredient, if that's what you get from today, then that's fantastic. So really, really do seek, and you will find that thing that you can go, that's me. Why have I not been using that? Doesn't matter what it is, whatever it is, add it in to you, and that spice will just bring everything alive. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that you've got value. If you feel that anybody else will get value from this, please feel free to share it along. That would be fantastic. And if you want to find out more, then click on the links. They'll either be above or below this video, and I can share more with you and you can get more resources.